What's happening, fam? What's happening? L.A.R. movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon, Kindle, and Create Space. A link will be in the description box below as usual. This video is entitled A Strong, Independent Black Man. You know where that mantra comes from. But it was woman at the end of the thing. I don't need a man for nothing. So I think every action creates an equal and opposite reaction. And I think that movement in time actually created strong, independent black men, which already existed, but I think it just kind of threw it into overdrive. And the reason I say that is because, I don't need a man for nothing, right? Well, because at that time they didn't need men. Men also needed to be self-sufficient as far as, and I'm talking, this is all non-sexual stuff, the things that a woman who cares about a man would do. So, guys started taking care of themselves. I'm talking about a specific group of men too. These guys started taking care of themselves. These guys started, they were clean. They're neat freaks. They can cook for themselves. They took into image and how they look, and now they're into fashion. I'm not really into fashion, but in addressing themselves properly and accordingly, and looking dapper. How about that? And it creates a space where these ladies want a certain kind of guy. People call it the educated lame, but when you take it a step further, they call it the masters of the universe, right? Those guys, strong, independent black men, right? And what some of these ladies forget, but it's not just a women thing I'm about to say. It's about society too. They forgot that now, when you meet these guys, you don't really have a place in his life, because he, as women say, we were forced to be strong and independent. Well, like I said before, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. We were forced to be independent and strong because as children, we looked at, all the statistics and all these people's myths and propaganda. We looked at as adults when we're children, so we're treated differently. So we got to be stronger than everybody else, because nobody's treated like us in America in general, right? So even as children, we have to be mentally stronger than everybody, because we're going to deal with more mental mind games than anybody else, and people are trying to break us down, whether we're talking about the educational system and the teachers, because when we talk to other groups, even other groups of blacks who migrate to this country, they talk so much about getting teased by us, but we look at that as lightweight compared to, how the teachers treat us, how society treats us, how even our own families and parents treat us to try to stump out our masculinity. And it's like, all you got to talk about is you got teased. I just can't, you can't rock with that. So that's part of our mental strength. The same thing, you talk to the women, they talk about how TV influences them. And for men, especially black men, it's like that's you weak-minded, because I'm not gonna let what I see on TV make me feel bad about myself when people in society are trying to destroy me and kill me at every turn. I ain't got time to say, I didn't like myself on MTV. We can't do that. So so moving forward from that, you got the aspect where you're strong and independent, because families don't necessarily, a lot of families don't believe in the boys. And, in the educational system in general, the educational system is geared towards females. But, black boys get treated worse. But that goes the same way in families. In families don't tend to believe in the boys. They're quick to send the boys out to the streets. You got to be telling them they got to be a man at an early age. So they don't care about them developing as much. They don't care about them enjoying their childhood. So a lot of strong, independent black men, have can some to in some degree can have like this Peter Pan issue where sometimes they seem real childish because in adulthood they're doing childish type things because they didn't get a chance to when they were children. Just things like that. But they were taught to be independent because the families normally never come together to we're gonna come together to send this person to school. We're gonna come together to pay for this kid's musical lessons or they want to get into a trade or they want to learn how to get into mechanics. They don't do that. You on your own. You got to figure it out for yourself. So over time, you got these young boys in sink or swim situations very early. So they're growing to be strong, independent men, and they can't depend on the family. Like they see the family come together for the girls, or even some of the guys who are screw ups. The guys who are not screw ups, they're definitely left out to fend for themselves on a regular basis. Now, this goes for society, as I was talking about. Society has a zero tolerance policy with us, whether we did something or we didn't. But everybody else has this carte blanche type attitude. Oh, they have this problem. It was a rough day. They had a rough life. A bird shitted on the concrete that they walked on, and it traumatized them, and blah blah blah. And we look at other people as weak-minded too, because we don't have the luxury of saying, even when people say, oh, this kid didn't have a. Look at the energy given to when people say, I don't have a dad in my life. To black men, he didn't have a dad in his life. Yeah, all right, whatever, man. Yeah, all of y'all didn't. But a girl, she didn't have a dad in her life, and this is why she acting like she ain't got no sense at 50 years old. It's like, we don't even we are harder on each other than society. That's another thing about being a strong, independent black man, right? We know, we don't want to get in a competition about who's had it worse in a group of black men, because you might say the wrong thing, and brother be like, that's it? You be like, damn, yeah, I shouldn't have said that. That was the bulk of my story, because I see yours is different, and the other thing is our experiences make us a lot of times mentally tougher. Like I clown with friends of mine, and we laugh about, if you're a black man, raise your hand. Press 1. Put 1 in the comment section if you got a gun pulled on you by a police officer or anybody in the streets at any age. From 10 up. I'm 99.999% sure that 100% of the guys gonna say, yeah, it happened to me. Everybody else does it. The other people don't know what it's like to have society's always put guns in your face. You don't. Just because. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't get that. So y'all and y'all live in this mindset where, oh, it ain't that bad. It ain't that bad for us because we learn how to be strong mentally, physically, and we got to be independent of everybody. That's how we learn how to grow and grind and hustle, because a lot of us understand we can outsmart people and outwork people and still get half of the benefit from it. So we have to have multiple streams of income. We're America's realest entrepreneur, but everybody benefits off the things we do. They have that luxury that we don't have. We don't have the luxury to fully benefit off of our labor. And it makes us, in some ways, uber individualistic, to the point where I can say it kills us as a group, because we're all strong and independent. It's hard to work together, because we're not accustomed to having to work together against anybody. And the other thing about that is we're intimidating. So that makes us strong, independent black men, because we can walk in a room solo and the whole room do this and get intimidated if there's no black men in the place. we ain't never scared of anybody else, but everybody's scared of us. So everybody acts as if they're scared of us. And ask any black man this, like, there are other men in society and other groups that I didn't realize this when I was younger, but as I get older, I realize this more and more. They come into our spaces just to feel like they can get. We're like, being around us. Can I be around a black guy that doesn't know me? Just walk in his space and live. Right. But you start to, older you get, you start to recognize it. And you're looking at, you really walking over here to get my attention because what? And you notice it because most brothers had this experience at one point in life when they go, what you want, man? I don't want no problems. Like, you don't want no problems. What the fuck? Like, you walked all the way over here with all of this goddamn space that you can be by yourself. You walk right next to me, and I'm asking you, what's up? Because you came to me, and now you don't want no problems? Like, I don't get it. You know, so it makes us, you know, we get it. Like, we intimidate the world, right? So, you know, and we get, you know, nobody's, everybody has a handout with us, and we've been treated. We know that nobody loves us. We know that nobody cares about our lives. We know that nobody cares about our experiences. We know that the only time people act like they love us is when we dead. So it makes us, you know, we can accept the realities of life faster than other people, and it makes us stronger than other people. And we don't need you, and we really don't want you. You can come and go, and this is part of the reason why people say, "Oh, these guys, you know, they're always doing is cheating and this and that, and they're not faithful, they're not loyal. How can they do that? How can you disrespect the flag?" It's like, dog, you know, none of this society, just because it was built by us, we know it's not built for us. So we're independent in a sense, like, you know, we're our own little, you know, we're like mercs, we're like mercenaries in America. And because of that, you know, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Other people are truly intimidated because they don't have to face the obstacles we have to face. They don't have to take the journeys we have to take, and people don't approach them with the level of disdain for their lives and humanity like they do us. So we literally get accustomed to fighting for our lives every day, and now the lion's den is comfortable to us, but people would probably die of a heart attack or a stroke if they came in a black male space lines. And that's why when black men congregate, everybody got shrinks because it's just too much for them, right? So, you know, that's my video on that, man. I got things to do. It's time to go. We out. Peace.